by the age of 14, I was out of the house, and I was living in Topanga Canyon with friends and playing music. And I did a little bit. We went to Europe for a bit when my mother was married to her second husband, my stepfather. But I spent a lot of time with my grandparents in L.A., and my grandmother was originally from Mississippi. So, as you might expect, country music and old blues was in that house. And there was a piano in that house. So, yeah, and my grandparents were more influential on my life for stability. They were really stable. And my mother was an artist, so things were topsy-turvy. But my grandparents were very, very stable, and, you know, Southern food was the order of the day.
I was just going to ask you, with that combination, what kind of food was cooking in your house?
Well, my mother's house, it was mostly Armenian, Hungarian, and Mexican.
Oh, my gosh.
And at my grandmother's house, it was mostly Southern. Oh. So I love, besides music, I absolutely love to cook. So when green chili chisme, that's like, I used to make salsas, and when my kids were grown, my daughter came over to visit. She goes in the fridge, she goes, "There's no salsa?" I got lazy. I'm like, what do you mean you didn't make salsa? It's like the food group, the entire food group of life was like done in. But, so yeah, your name was apt for me, and music and writing, but writing, you know, screenplays, short stories and all that, that's always what I did. I was supposed to be an actress, so I was at Strasberg's, and I studied under Walter Lott, and then later I was at the 78th Street Actors Studio in New York with Dana Weiss, and it wasn't that, I mean, yeah, I was good, but I knew I had to stay away from that, because I would become the character. Oh. And when the play was over, I was still in the character. And one of the characters I had to play was a play called The Pokey by Stephen Black. It's about a rock singer who's in a Texas jail.
Oh, no.
So you know I could dive big time into that role. But I didn't leave that role when the play ended.
Oh, no. You went on to fulfill it?
Yeah, and I was playing music in New York City at the time, you know, the typical joints, you know, Kenny's Castaways, The Bitter End, The Lone Star Cody's, The City Limits, all that. So and I had a band of my stuff, and we called ourselves Good and Dusty.
Good and Dusty.
And I saw myself, ironically, as like a West Coast folk rock band, and we were called Country Western in New York, which I was like, dang. So we did these video shows. James Earl Jones' nephew, Matt Earl Jones, had a video show, and we were one of the bands invited to go on, and I was offered some record deals, but silly young girl that I was, one of the guys wanted me to do a cover tune. I said, well, we can't possibly do that.
You're insulting me.
Well, yeah, and it was one of the things you only do in your 20s, and you don't understand business. And,
of course.
You know, you're just in your creative mode and whatever. And I think back later, I thought, man, that was a really stupid move.
Yeah.
But, you know, those were good years. This is the early 80s. It was really good years to be in New York City. It was a vibrant live music scene at that time, and there were so many places to play. And the owners of the clubs were really very supportive of the bands. Like, they let us leave our amp back if they had a basement room, and so when we'd ride the subway home, our equipment could be there, which was really great. And a lot of us, you know, that played all knew each other, and there's a few people that are still alive, like myself, and still playing. One, Tom Russell, he's doing solo stuff now, and he lives in Texas.
Okay.
He was one of my favorite artists. He just plays my brother-in-law back there. So there was a lot of us, and we were all kind of, it was a fluid thing. Like, we'd all share one particular bass player. It was a live thing, and I don't know if that's happening anymore. It probably is. But,
I think it is, probably. I've been away from the intricate of the music scene since Michael moved back to LA now, and I moved to New Mexico for the film portion of everything.
Smart move.
You were talking about writing screenplays, so I mean, music and this ability, and the people I've noticed that I've interviewed, it's there from the beginning. You know, for me personally, I don't know, and I've told this before on an episode or two, but I at like 6 or 7, I wrote to me like 5 pages, a crayon script of a Star Trek episode, and I somehow mailed it to Ken's TV in San Antonio, And we're talking 6 years old. And the general manager wrote back to me. My parents, of course, intercepted the letter. They had no idea what had happened. And the letter was basically, wow, this is a good attempt, I'm paraphrasing obviously. But the show has been out of production for a number of years, but the bottom line of it was, keep writing. And it was the general manager of the station.
See, look at that, how young you were and how you're an innovator, you're an entrepreneur, and you've done that forever. I kind of sit on mine, and every now and then someone says, well, let's do this with it. Okay.
Yeah. All right, you need that push. Yeah, I've always been the pusher, actually, and like when Michael and I got together, he didn't really know how to write songs. He knew how to play, and he plays everything, piano, accordion, bass, guitar, drums. He does all of it, sings. And I knew how to write songs. And so we got together, and we had about 10 blazing years. I think with BMI
That's fabulous.
we have probably over 100 songs registered with BMI. Just him and I.
Okay, I'm ASCAP, but yes, I've got some new ones, by the way, David, and I've been flirting with the idea of putting out a new record, and I think that the universe, God or whatever, is kind of telling me, yeah, do this. And it's just a question of finding the right producer. I've been approached by a few, but my vision is way more stripped down this time, way more stripped down, and way more acoustic.
What area are you looking at? What area are you looking at?
Area for what?
For your producer, or just?
I'm close to the Bay Area.
Oh, okay.
And there's a few people that have approached me there, but I'll talk. Since my music belongs, I've been told so many years ago by an old friend of mine, a drummer who since passed away, a fabulous drummer. He said to me one time, Tosh, your music has a Texas vibe. You really ought to consider putting a guitarone on it for a bass.
Oh, man.
And that was the first time I ever heard that comment, and that was over 20 years ago.
Wow.
And, and I'll tell you later the story, but anyhow. So I thought maybe I would start looking. When I'm down in Texas, I'll just see what happens. The universe is kind of funny that way. When things come along and you say yes and you make yourself fully present.
I'm finding this out right now as I do this podcast every week. Because I was going to say our producer that we've used forever, and most of everybody who's anybody in the music scene in the Texas, San Antonio, South Texas area, uses Joe Blue Cat Trevino. He has Blue Cat Studios in King William area of the San Antonio. Multi-Grammy Award winning, I think one of Selena's stuff been done in there, and his band of regular musicians, the people who go through there, from Flacco all the way to, it goes. It's huge and super great guy.
When this podcast is over, then this sounds like this whole journey of life. When you're open to the twists and turns, and I just have this vibe lately, David, that a lot of us that are creative, that have gone several different paths that kind of all come together, are all going to be making this sharp right turn into a whole new territory that's going to just open up a lot of stuff. I see it with Bridget, I see it with me, I see it with you. It's just a vibe that's happening that's very powerful, where we're all uniting now. The industry, because it's an oxymoron, music business nowadays, right? It's coalescing, and the people that are dedicated to creating art, guess what? We're always going to do it.
Yep.
And what's happening now is we're all coming together.
Yep. I had brought up with Shandon during our interview, it started to hit me when I was talking with him, because we knew so many other people that we knew together, these circles that I'm finding out are just huge. And now your circle, Bridget, and I know Bridget. You know what I'm saying? It's all coming together, like you're saying. And when you were saying that right now, I actually had butterflies in my stomach, because I feel that. I really do feel that.
You know what? I can do what I want with this thing in April.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be coming up from Mexico, and I may just decide to hop in my car so that I have more freedom.
Yeah.
And bop on over to Silver City. I love Silver City, New Mexico. I did a radio show there with an old guitar player of mine, Ian. Funny story. So we released the album Bad Judgments, right?
Uh-huh.
And our manager and agent had set up these TV tours on ABC and NBC for us. But the booking agent had his dates backwards, so he booked us at all these places that weren't with the TV dates.
Oh, no.
And, yeah, right? So we were like, well, gee, can we, because the other album was in the can, and our engineer, Ronnie, was doing overdubs in L.A. with Tequila Time. But we were promoting the album that just got released. So we thought, well, geez, can we, reschedule the TV? And we were told, no, you can't reschedule on a major network. They'll never have you back.
Yeah.
So the irony is, there we are, in Albuquerque, flying into Albuquerque. We're in El Paso, we're in Lubbock, we're in Amarillo, we're in Silver City. We're doing these ABC, NBC, good morning, Albuquerque, or good day, whatever. So this friend of mine, did you ever know a cat named Ed Ivy? Also, he plays tuba and bass.
No, ma'am. No, I sure didn't.
No. Okay, so he and Martin Fierro, who was my sax player then, who was still alive back then, they were both from Juarez.
Oh.
So, but they grew up also in El Paso. So they knew that I loved tequila. So Ed had arranged for Ian and I to have this trip over the borders to go to this distillero, for some fabulous smoked agave and all this stuff, and smoked tequila. And I was just in heaven. I thought, well, great. We're getting done with ABC, and I'm thinking, okay, you got the interviews over now.
Oh,
now
my
we
gosh.
can go to tequila. So we get back to the hotel room. I get this phone call from Ed going, I'm sorry, Tosh, y'all can't go. I'm like, say what? Says, they ain't going to take you guys over there. I'm like, well, why? Well, because you're blonde. Well, what the hell does that have to do with it? Blondes can't drink tequila? He goes, no, it's too dangerous. I said, well, I'll buy a black wig. I'm good. I'm thinking I'm going to go. He said, no. He said, you guys both have long blonde hair. They're not doing it. So we're sitting there. Wow. What are we going to do? We don't have to be to Amarillo. We had to be in Amarillo at 6 a.m., TV show. So we didn't have to be to Amarillo by morning, right? So we're driving. Somehow or another, we find ourselves in New Mexico, and we're driving by those bat caves.
Oh, yeah.
Not Calabasas. What's the name of it? Anyway, it starts with CA.
Carlsbad.
And we look. Carlsbad, that's it. And we look at each other, two Aquarians. Ian's born the 15th, and I'm the 16th of February. And we're like, should we do this? Like, hell yeah, let's go. So, because we don't have a gig, what are we going to do? We just have TV shows and radio.
Oh, my gosh.
It was the oddest time.
Oh, my gosh. That is so crazy. Oh, man.
It was.
So let me take you back again.
I did love in New Mexico after that. I really did, because I'd never been to New Mexico before.
Yeah.
And going up into the hills of Silver City, that was just beautiful.
Man.
And coming back down into Albuquerque, driving across the West Texas Panhandle, you had a deep appreciation for the distances.
Yes, no doubt. No doubt. That drive is pretty massive. From San Antonio to here, it was pretty heavy.
Oh, yeah.
And I love waking up to the mountain right there in front of my house, in front of my apartment every day, So let me ask you this: back when you were growing up, what was school like for you growing up?
Well, I went to a small school in L.A. called the Merman School. There were like 12 kids to a class. We had separate teachers for Greek mythology, for math, so we could go at our own speed.
Oh.
So a lot of us that were 7 and 8 were doing, negative numbers, and some of the 9-year-olds were doing algebra. We had people that developed a moon chair come to school to try to help figure out the calendar. It was an interesting school.
Wow.
But my schooling was kind of sporadic. I was there, and then we moved to Geneva, and I was in school in Geneva, so I went to school in French, which was helpful.
Yeah.
And then the next year I went to school. We were swimming off the coast of Morocco, and my mother and stepfather announced that we were moving to Rome. So, okay.
Wow.
Yeah. He was working on a movie, and this is right after the Tate Polonsky murder, so he'd auctioned the rights to another film, but our other friends had done a film called, or my mother's friends had done a film called Massacre in Rome, Carlo Ponti and Bob Katz, and because that talked about the Catholic Church, aiding and abetting the Nazis leaving Italy, they were politely asked to leave Italy for a while. So, at which point we all left Italy.
Right.
So, because everybody associated with those people in that film were like persona non grata at that point.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Actually, I think I remember I have written a screenplay about the Catholic Church helping to move paintings.
Oh yeah, they did all kinds of. They
painted over.
Stuff, I don't know why we're all surprised, but it is what it is. But anyway, they were great films, and it was a good experience for me to see all that. I guess
As a child, going from country to country.
I started writing tunes at about that time, and I was delving seriously into playing my guitar and kind of withdrawing into my room and just playing music all the time. And then when I came back to the States, I was living with my grandparents, and I wasn't going to school because I was too young for the American school system. They would have had to put me in 12th grade, so I didn't go to school for a bit. And then I went back when I went to live with friends in Topanga Canyon. I put myself in Santa Monica High School.
There you go. So what was the emphasis for you to finally pick up a guitar?
Well, I was 7. I liked it more than the piano, and I was listening to like Brownie McGhee and Sonny Terry and Billie Holiday, and this is what was driving me when I was a young girl, was Delta blues sounds.
Amazing. And so you played...
I think piano's great training, but for me it was the guitar.
Yeah. I wish I learned how to play piano, and maybe I still can. I don't know. I'm learning right now guitar. I've only about 6 or 7 years I've been playing guitar now.